mention the fact that I was an actor immediately in my very early stages of development. Someone would ask, well, what has he done? And before they could get the last utterance out, she would say, he hasn't done anything yet, but one day he's going to do something important. That was either the extraordinary clairvoyancy of my mother, but something else. It was when she said important, she did not mean the opportunity I had to do the extraordinary films and be a part of the extraordinary films that I'm in. But when she says something very important, she says, being here right now with you is what she meant. Being here to share this extraordinary moment in time, in history, in your history, is what she meant by importance. She understood clearly from her own life that each generation makes their specific mark on history. And as Paul Robeson once said, they're judged by the history that they make. You were here in the face of studying, in the face of so many of you who are first-generation college students, to make your history. As others before you, as my mother, who graduated from a historically black college, Payne College, in Augusta, Georgia, in 1942, knew that she had her history to make. That history in 1942 was just as different than the history that many students around the country and on my campus at San Francisco State made in 1968 when they went out on strike for a School of Ethnic Studies. That history is different from the history that you make now. You who are participants in the work as students, as concerned citizens with NCORE. I applaud you for that work. I applaud you for being here, knowing that there must be more that you can do. Not simply as a college student, but there must be more that you can do as we untangle and recreate and reimagine what democracy means, what participatory democracy means, what our engagement means at this time, in this moment in history. Because there's so much work to do. Yet the foundation has been laid over years by many. The foundation that led my mother to graduate from college, the foundation that led me to go to San Francisco State, the foundation that's led countless generations. But we to find themselves, to evolve, to grow, to understand that the dynamics of change are constant. They're never the same. To understand that and prescribe the relationships, the network relationships necessary for fundamental change. That fundamental change has to engage us in ways that we perhaps do not realize at this moment. Because once you finish your work as students, there's other work to do, to raise families, to build communities, to define the democracy and grasp the change, to worry about all the things that we worry about as human beings, not simply in this country, but also in the rest of the world. This process that you're engaged in, this idea of celebrating race and ethnicity, is a very important rubric for you to understand what we need to do. We know that the system that has brought us here, the system that we talk about in referencing diversity, is a system that comes out of exploitation. A system that comes out of exploitation of our mothers and our mothers' mothers and our mothers' mothers before, and our fathers and our fathers' mothers and all those before. We know that. So we cannot exist within the framework of that exploitation without redefining it and making it anew. We have to be the force that makes it anew. We have to be the force that drives the change with complicity and action from all of us, whether white, black, Hispanic, Asian, First Nation people, all of us are participants in that. Because we all, in the instance, we may represent those of people of color, the defining statement of what that system has been, the clarity of what that system has been. But it exploited all of us. It exploits women. It exploits all of us. We have to recognize that and find our methods, our work methodologies to fundamentally change that.